What's up, boys and girls? We're back with another video, and today I'm going to tell you how I lost over $50,000 betting on an MMA event recently. So if you're on this channel, you've probably heard of me, but if you haven't and you're a new viewer, I'm a full-time gambler and I bet on MMA for a living. This year I've had multiple days where I've won over $100,000 in one single day on one single UFC event. UFC 297, we did it. UFC 298, we did it. And UFC Mexico, I won over $100,000 on each of these events. But nowadays on social media, all you see is the good. You never see the bad or the truth. So I want to do a video, a raw video, where I'm being completely honest, open and transparent with you and telling you about a day where I had a massive loss. Most people on social media, especially on betting social media, are complete frauds, complete scammers, and they show you all of these wins they've had, but they never show you the losses. And most of these guys have more losses than wins. I am actually in the 1% of gamblers that actually wins more than they lose, but even I still have losing days. Of course, we can't win every single weekend. So let's rewind to UFC 299 in Miami, Florida. I thought it was gonna be a massive weekend for me, boys. I was very confident on my reads, and most of the time, when I'm confident on my reads, it pans out that way. We do have a big weekend. Not all of the time, but most of the time. But unfortunately, this was one of the times where that didn't pan out. So I had a bunch of bets on this card, and man, I made some really bad bets. I had a lot of really bad luck, and nothing went my way, and I ended up losing just over $50,000 all up. I'll run through some of the bets I had, and I'll tell you why I made those bets and why I made a mistake. So the first bet I'm going to tell you about is probably the worst bet of the entire night. Marlon Vera over Sean O'Malley at plus 230. Now, if you're a gambler and if you know about sports betting and numbers and MMA betting, then you probably understand why I took this shot on Marlon Vera. It was first time O'Malley had been in a 5-round fight. Vera had the mental edge coming in with no pressure on his back, already having a win over the champion. O'Malley's whole shtick was about being undefeated. Now he had to fight someone who had actually beaten before, whether it was a fluke or not. We knew Marlon had the cardio edge. Like, there was loads of different reasons I bet on Marlon Vera. Post-fight, obviously I regret the bet because he got smashed. But pre-fight, I feel like I would always make that bet. So a big distinction that you have to understand in sports betting is that there's something called a system, right? I have a system to my bets. I'm not betting the fighter 9 times out of 10. I'm betting through systems. And Marlon Vera was the type of guy who I would always bet against Sean O'Malley at plus 230. So while I do regret the bet post-fight, I can't say that pre-fight I regret it, because I wouldn't have made it if I did. And I don't think I made a mistake pre-fight based on what I knew. Now, if we move to someone like Jolton Almeida, who was another fighter I lost a lot of money on, I probably should have stayed off that one pre-fight. So it's funny, right? Because I'm saying that Marlon Vera pre-fight, I would probably always bet him, but Marlon got completely dominated. Jolton didn't get dominated. Actually, Jolton done the domination and just got caught in round 2. But I'm actually saying that Jolton Almeida pre-fight was a worse bet than Marlon Vera, which I know if you don't understand sports betting, if you're not into MMA betting, it's a very hard thing to get your head around. But like I said, we're not betting the fighters. We don't care about how the iteration pans out most of the time. It's mainly about systems and why we're betting them pre-fight with the knowledge we have. And pre-fight, I didn't know that Jolton was going to be able to finish Curtis round 1, or there wasn't much data to suggest that Curtis would be a fish out of water on his back. I made assumption there that Jolton was levels above him on the mat. And while that may be the case, and while he may have dominated in round 1, I didn't really know how Jolton would push through after facing some adversity. He didn't face much adversity in his entire UFC career. A little bit against Nasruddinov in the Dana White's Contender Series, a little bit against Lewis, but not really, and not the amount of adversity that Curtis Blaydes could probably put up. I knew Curtis Blaydes was the better striker on the feet. I knew he was a better boxer, and he's just been in this spot many times, in a high-profile spot, fighting the best fighters in the world. So to bet on Jolton at slight underdog money, I just should have passed. That was a bad bet from me. Not necessarily the read was terrible, because the way it played out, you know, dominated in round 1, got caught in round 2. So the read wasn't that bad, but the systematization of me making that bet was all fucked up. That's not the type of bet I should be making in MMA. Basically, the unknowns were too much for me to play even an underdog bet at that price. It was only plus 105, so it wasn't a big underdog. I'm going to show you a bet slip on my screen right now. I put $10,000 on Jolton Almeida and I lost that. And I put a lot more money than $10,000 on. That was only on one bookie. I actually bet him on multiple other bookies as well. Overall, I probably had close to $20,000 on Jolton, and I lost it completely. All gone. $20,000 up in flames. Now, I'm trying to be open and honest with you, you know. We don't win every single weekend. I take massive L's, boys. I win massive bets, right? Like, you've seen me bet $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 on one selection before and cash. You've seen me turn $500 into $40,000 in a parlay. But when you play with big stakes, when you play for big prizes, you lose big money as well. It's inevitable. It's part of the game. I don't mind showing you this because I have nothing to hide. The reason these fraud cappers won't show you this type of stuff is because they are hiding something. They don't want to be fully open and transparent with you because they need your money to pay for their service. They don't make money from sports betting. I've been making money from sports betting documented for 5 years, half a decade. My betting slips are up all over the web for over 5 years now. I've been making money and I'm gonna continue to make money, so I don't mind showing you this type of stuff. But I don't want this video to only be about me showing you about losses. Like, I'm showing you my losses now. I've told you about losses I've had. I also lost on Rafael dos Anjos as a massive underdog. I thought I was a genius after round 1, but after round 3, I thought I was a bit of an idiot. Although I don't really regret that one at plus 350. It's kind of a system play. Like, I'm talking about systems a lot, and what I mean by that is we don't focus so much on the fighters. We focus on the knowns and the unknowns pre-fight, and we make our bets based on that. So I don't mind Rafael dos Anjos shot, 1.5 unit shot at plus 350. I also bet on Pedro Munoz, which that another bad bet I made. So I can go through all of the bad bets I made and show you all the L loss slips and stuff, but I want you to take something from this video. The main thing I want you to take from this video is that social media is fake. Don't believe 99% of these other cappers out there. They're talking shit. And when I say cappers, I mean sports betting tipsters, touts, professional sports bettors, whatever you want to call it. Don't believe these motherfuckers, boys, because they are lying to you. The industry I'm in is one of the most slimiest industries on the entire planet. I have absolutely nothing to hide, so I don't mind saying that. I've never told a lie to you on camera, and I never will, because everything I'm doing is for real. Like I've said, I've made $100,000 in one day, more than $100,000 in one day, and I will continue to do it. Sports betting has set me financially free, but I can be here and tell you, be careful of the frauds. A lot of people lose money signing up with these tipsters who don't give them the realness, who blame them, or who block them after a losing weekend, or who blame other things after a losing weekend. After UFC 299, I didn't blame anyone else. Yes, a lot of things didn't go our way that could have gone our way. On another day, Rafael dos Anjos probably knocks him out in round 1 when he dropped him hard twice. I lost on under 2.5 rounds, Gilbert Burns versus Jack Della Maddalena, by about 20 seconds or 1 minute or something like that. On another day, that cashes, and I also bet on Jolton to win in round 1. Probably on another day, he does finish in round 1. I bet on Jack Della Maddalena to win in round 1 or 2, but he finished in round 3. On another day, he finishes in round 1 or 2. Like, there's lots of things that I could be blaming, and that did go against me. But I didn't do that. I held my hands up. I said that I'm motivated to come back next week. I said that this is part of the game. We're going to lose weekends, and we're going to get them back next week. And you know what we did the very next week? We won 15 units of profit. It was on par to be the biggest night of my entire gambling career. But then the Bryan Battle fight got cancelled and we lost a lot of money based on that. I mean, we got our stakes returned, but we was due to win a lot of money on that fight. I had one of the biggest nights I've had of 2024, literally the week after one of the worst nights I've had. And I knew that was the case. Because I knew that was the case, I'm not gonna make excuses for why we lost or whatnot. It is what it is, man. Some of the fights I deserve to make excuses for, because there's valid excuses and there are reasons why we lost. And some of the fights, they were just plain bad bets. But like I said, bringing it back to a takeaway that you can have. One of the takeaways is that just don't believe these motherfuckers who win 24/7, because that is not sports betting. It's impossible. There's nothing in this planet, guys. Crypto, sports betting, fighting, whatever you want to say. There is no vocation on this entire planet where you just win, and there's no L's, there's no cons, there's no downsides. And if you believe that, then you deserve to get scammed. I truly believe that, because you have to go through shit in life to realize, right? So a lot of times you might have to get smacked in the mouth to understand how to respect people in real life. You might have to get punched around a bit before you learn how to fight. So maybe you have to get scammed once or twice to learn who's a scammer and who's real. Because a lot of people do message me and say, oh, I've been scammed in the past and stuff like that. And it pisses me off because it's my industry. I know 99% of people are scammers, and I don't want you to get scammed. So don't listen to them. Yes, I have a service. In my opinion, the best MMA betting service on the planet. I don't even think it's close. And I'm genuinely saying that from the bottom of my heart. I think that by far I have the best MMA betting service on the entire planet, And it's not even like I think, it's backed up by data. I know the units we win. I know the amount of money I've won. I know the amount of money my members have won. But you don't even have to sign up with me. The video is not about that at all. I'm showing you my L's, right? I'm giving out free content every single day. Do you know how many people have never signed up to me, but I've made them bags and bags of cash? I get a DM every single day by people saying, I've never signed up to you, but I've won this amount of money, that amount of money. I've been able to travel here based on the knowledge you give for free. So before you start giving your hard-earned money to other cappers, understand that most of them are frauds, and you can probably get more from my free shit than even their paid stuff. And a lot of these cappers are signed up to me and literally copying my bets anyway, but we're getting into the weeds here, man. Last thing I want you to take away from this video is that handling losses is probably the #1 thing that you need to learn if you want to be a successful sports bettor. Losses will always come. Losses are inevitable. We cannot avoid losses. The best gambler in the entire world has had weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of losses, L after L after L. They look like the worst gambler the world has ever seen, but they're actually the best gambler the world has ever seen. And that's just gambling. You're gonna run into losing streaks. I suggest you replay what I've just said in the last 20 seconds or so, because if you don't understand it after the last 20 seconds of what I just said, you'll never understand it. The most important thing we can do is control our emotions. Do not be emotionally volatile. Understand that emotions play no part in this game. Dust yourself off after a losing week, a losing event, a losing day, a losing month, and we go again. There's always new opportunities to make money as long as we stay cool emotionally, cool-headed, and don't start flipping out and losing our minds based on a couple of L's. So that's it, boys. I just wanted to show you that I don't win every week. I don't win $100,000 every week. There's many, many weeks where I lose, and there will be many, many weeks I lose in the future, but I know that there's gonna be a lot more weeks where I win. And that's all I'm trying to do in this game, boys. I ain't trying to win every week. And the reason is because not even Jesus himself could win every week. I'm not God. I can't see the future. If I could, it wouldn't be called gambling, would it? But I am gambling. So as long as I win more often than I lose, that's all I'm trying to do in this game. And I've been doing it for the last 5 years, and I'm gonna continue to do it for the next 5 years. So shout out to everybody who watched this video. Hit the like button like everyone says. It takes you 1 second, so I'd appreciate it. And yeah, man, good luck on your next bets, and I'll see you in the next video.